Domestication of animals. Before I will further explain what is domestication of animals, let me first define what is domestication. Well, domestication is a process of adapting, whether it is a wild plants or animals, for human use. Domestic species are raised for food, work, clothing, medicine, and many other uses. Domesticated plants and animals must be raised and cared for by the humans. So, if we say domestication of animals, it is a mutual relationship between an animals and by the humans. So basically, humans are intended to care or adapt an animals to be able us to get food. For example, a pigs for meat, a chicken for eggs, a cows for milk, a sheep, and other animals that provided us for food. Other than that, we have an animals for work or for transportation. For example, is that a carabaos, a donkey, and a camel. And lastly, we have a animals for companionship. We have some dogs and cats or birds and etc. The first attempts of domestication of animals were made in the Old World during the Mesolithic period. Most of the domesticated animals familiar to us today were domesticated not long after people began to farming and living permanently settlements between 8000 and 2500 BC. Our ancestors surely knew how to pick them. Evident formed their choices they picked ones that were easiest to take care of. The easiest animals to domesticate are the herbivores that graze on vegetation because they are easiest to feed.
Dispersal and invasion of animal. So first, we have to discuss about dispersal. Dispersal is an ecological process that involves the movement of individual or multiple individual away from the population where they will settle and reproduce. So when we say about dispersal is the process of organisms when it's spreading to one place to another. There are two types of dispersal, which is active and passive. So first is active dispersal. Is when an organism moves to one place to another without assistance. Say for example, bats, birds, and butterflies. Other one is passive dispersal. Is when an organism is need of assistance like seeds, dandelions, and burrs that belongs to another region that their places that's not new for them. They can show themselves in people, ballast water, and also in the place that in accident release. Sometimes human move animals and plants around the world deliberately. Example, to change an environment as a form of post control to hunt. Horticultural specimens or to keep as pets. So we have discussed what is the dispersal. So we move to the limit of dispersal. So what is the limit of dispersal? Species exhibit geographic distributions that are constrained by a range of environmental variables, outside of which individuals may experience reduced survival and reproductions due to physical. So next is disadvantage of animals dispersal. So disadvantage of animals dispersal does not provide dispersal agents with a nutritional or energetic reward. Or in other words, rely solely on a chance that an animal will walk and pick up seeds from the plant tend to be dispersal mechanism for invasive species plants. Animal dispersal is useful to plants and grasslands where animals graze and inhabit. The effects of dispersal on individuals, population, and species. A small isolated populations can become inbred and result in decreased fitness, but dispersal can counteract these negative effects. Additionally, dispersal can reduce competitions for resources and meats, thereby increasing individual fitness. Why animals have to disperse? Dispersal allows animals to avoid competition, avoid inbreeding, and to colonize new habitats. Animals disperse by leaving their natal area and finding new territories or home ranges. The dispersing animal, like the migrating one, is attempting to improve by finding a suitable habitat. So second is why animals is not able to disperse. Dispersal by terrestrial animals is generally considered effective or energy efficient because individuals are forced to travel through unfavorable habitats and contented with potential geographic barriers. Human effect on dispersal. Human fundamental affect dispersal by directly transporting individuals and indirectly by altering landscapes and natural vectors.
Causes of animals' contraction and decline pollution. So this is the aquatic species that are poisoned by a plastic trash. This is an example of pollution. Animal diseases are brought or by herding, which is the act of managing huge herds of roving cattle or flocking habits, which paradoxically can be caused by habitat loss, predator avoidance, patchy environments, and climate change. I'm sure you guys must be wondering, what is such a big deal about it? Pollution is one of the most urgent environmental issues that we are facing presently. Pollution adversely affects the wildlife and humans. As you can see, these are the effects of pollution to our animals. The population of animals will decrease. Millions of animals are killed because of pollution. Hundreds of wildlife species are suffering pollution. Population growth and human consumption are the main factors behind the fall in animal populations, specifically pollution, trade of wildlife, and destruction of habitat. One of the reasons that the population of animals are decreasing it's because of the conversion of pristine habitats like forests, grasslands, and mangroves into agricultural system is the most significant direct factor for the loss of biodiversity. Pollution is a very critical problem, but the only thing that we can do or contribute to our environment is to segregate our garbages into biodegradable and non-biodegradable, or reduce, reuse, recycle. Let's protect habitat and the entire community of animals.